our duty is to protect and provide for our family, to be there to support them. And we have to support them with our financial capacity, with our time, with our energy, you know, being there for kids, etc. So it's like, this is probably the most important thing that we do as men, how we spend our time. And the way that we allocate our time, I like to say the time investments that we make determine the life that we live.
Ask at livebearded.com.
Not ask. What you don't understand is
The spot opened up literally next door. That's a
it's
big
real.
freaking win for the company because
We
it's
started this show
Spencer and Anthony.
it's crazy how loyal
guys were
is
thirsty for some
one of the
real-
encouraging men to be the best version. Ask us anything.
Welcome to the Beardsmen.
That is a good question.
you know, you got 14 hours, let's say, a little bit burnt out, unmotivated.
Week, not their birthday.
I gotta extend it.
Welcome to the Beardsmen, the show where we talk, mock, and never walk away from the conversation. I am here with the founders of Live Bearded, aka the Beardsmen, Spencer and Anthony.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Spence.
My name is Mink, and we started this podcast for one simple reason. As the founders of Live Bearded, we love connecting with our community. It's the favorite thing it's our favorite thing that we have done.
It is.
If I can talk.
It's the
over the
favorite.
last like 8 years, right?
It is 100%.
Yeah, so we started this podcast really just to chop it up, have a conversation about the experience of being a man in the world today.
Words
Being
are hard.
a world and the man.
The world
through
of
the
the
world
man.
of the man.
I feel like I've been watching too much Joe Biden.
If you look
In that
over,
case, just hit the applause button and everyone's going crazy.
if you look over there, I rode that car up the mountain, and there was an ice cream shop, and there. And,
we love you, Joe.
Thank you.
Oh,
Bye.
God. We talk, mock, and never walk away from the conversation.
That's right, guys. This podcast, look, this isn't Ask Us Anything. Whether it's apparently politics, Joe Biden, we're talking health, wellness, fitness, behind the scenes, Live Bearded stuff. Literally ask us anything, and we're gonna give you our opinion on it. So if you're listening right now and you want to submit a question, JR, how can they get those to us?
Best way to ask us a question is to comment them in the video or email us at ask@livebearded.com, and you may be featured on the podcast. That's right. Just like these people we're about to feature.
So you guys are matching today?
I was
We
gonna
are.
say, JR, you look really good today.
I was
Right?
gonna say you also look
What is
really
your
good
secret?
today.
Yeah.
You know what? There's this company called Live Bearded that teaches me to take care of myself.
Damn, I love it.
So I
Shameless
gotta
plug.
ask, JR, typically every week you have a nice, bright, loud, flowery,
Flamingo-y, something festive.
Yeah.
What inspired the change? You just haven't done the laundry in the last 4 weeks?
The bottom
or-
of the barrel. He's like the back of the closet.
Exactly. No, I went through my whole wardrobe of crazy shirts. I gotta go on Amazon and find some more.
Yeah.
Or hit up.
I rotate him back through.
You know, you can
Yeah, rotate them back.
You can
Start
rotate
over?
them back in, yeah.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. Everyone, what's your favorite shirt that I've worn so far? Today I'm sporting a nice Live Bearded.
That's right. It is weird to see him without the party shirt going on. You know.
I'm sorry to
I
let you
hope
down.
the energy needs to still be elevated to the levels of the party shirt.
Energy's there.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
How's dad life, bro?
Dude, that life's great.
What are you, like 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in?
4 weeks in. 4 weeks Sunday.
Oh, shit. Okay. 'cause
It's
the
honestly like it
31st.
could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 6. It is just kind of a blur. It's like they start to kind of blend in together. But
Happy 1 month anniversary.
dude, he's a stud. Yeah, it's cool. He's starting to sleep. As joking, I was like, dude, he got 4.5 hours straight. It felt like forever. I'm like,
You're so
woke up at
excited.
2 a.m. Like, he got 4.5 hours. Should I get up? Like, I feel great because the first couple of months it's like 2 hours here, an hour and a half there, 3 hours there. 4.5 was solid. But yeah, he's good, man. Mama's good, baby's good.
Your body
Bad
is
life.
acclimated to the loss of
It is
sleep.
amazing how the body can adapt, right? You think about acclimating to staying up later, waking up earlier. After you get kind of into that repetition through a few weeks, new habits are formed, and
Yeah.
the body just kind of acclimates.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been a little bit frustrated with myself because coming back from Australia, my sleep habits have not been great.
Not as early.
No, man, I was like, I could not go to bed early, and then I could not wake up early, and I was getting fucking pissed.
Yeah, how do you deal with that jet lag?
So now I feel like
go
I
back
just
to Australia.
No matter. All right, guys, I'm out. See you guys. You don't got to tell me twice. Yeah, I was actually having like a heart to heart with myself about this. I don't know if you guys do this. If you're listening, do you ever just have like a heart to heart with yourself? Like, come on, man, what's going on here? What's going on
Do
here?
you have the dialogue on both sides where you say the question and you state the answer and you go back and forth, or is it just like more reflective?
I mean, I definitely do both.
Like third
I would
person,
say in
like,
general, it's more
Come on,
reflective.
Spence, get your shit together.
Yeah.
I know, bro. I'm working on it. Damn.
Anyways, yeah. So I was like, maybe I just need to wake up at like, cause I usually get up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Like whether I'm on vacation or not, I think I just want to start waking up early. Maybe not 4 a.m., but like try to keep the habit the same because it's, you're right. Your body adjusts so quickly.
Yeah.
And you go, if you sleep in to different times, go to bed at different times, it like took me longer than I wish it would have.
Well, it's
to
like if
get
you go on
back into a
vacation
routine.
for a week or whatever, like your body's not going to acclimate. You probably can bounce back. But
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
gone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, then you get into that new rhythm, and it's hard to correct. So
And then you leave it and you come back and you have to
fuck, I gotta
bounce
redo it
back.
again.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? So I came in hot this morning, and I want to talk about something that really bothers me about driving to Live Bearded, and I'm sure
Oh.
everyone deals with this. Okay,
Morning commute.
the morning, yes, it's exactly the morning commute. My plan was to come in at like 8 a.m. today, like get to the office at 8 a.m. and just like do, just get things ready,
Yep.
be a little bit more prepared. And for whatever reason, whatever time I leave my house, I can only get here like 5 minutes before. Because the earlier I leave, the
more
more
traffic.
cars. Yeah. And so traffic just is slow from my house. If I leave at 8 a.m., I will get here at 8:58. And it only takes me like 18 minutes to go from my house to here
With no
without
traffic.
any traffic. If I leave my house at 8:50, I still get here at like 9:02 or something like that. It's like,
Yeah, you got to optimize that window. It does make sense if people are trying to rush in, and it's like you leave an hour early to sit in traffic or stay home.
Yeah.
And get here at the same
but
time.
if I leave at
Or-
7:30, I get here at like 7:50, which is like crazy early.
you stay up super late.
I do stay
You said
up
you were
super
like
late.
looking at something like 2 a.m. last night. Is that normal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I sleep good. But
Yeah.
like, I need
Stay
like
late.
4 or 5 hours. I stay up
Yeah.
late, I work, I do other
This
stuff.
is totally not relevant to the audience listening, but
No.
speaking of next week, we're going to start the podcast at 10.
We're gonna start at
We're
10.
We're going to start
Yeah, we're
changing.
pushing
We're
back.
going to push it back to 10 because I'm changing my schedule up. So I'm going to start working at 5 a.m. I'm going to wake up and just like start working at my house from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. And then I'm going to go to the gym from 8 a.m. to 10. And then I'm going to come here.
That is
Trying to
wonderful news.
re-optimize.
I, I don't need to fight the morning traffic to get here 3 minutes earlier than I normally do. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you if you wanted to do it, but it sounds like you're already in.
Oh, I'm in. I'm in.
So-
All in.
Yeah. I feel like it is really important, though. I mean, we were talking about this last week, time, efficiencies, how we use it, like the wasted space that happens. I literally just posted a picture on Instagram today, and the caption was "Time waits for no man." Like you have to don't count the days, make every day count. And I'm definitely going through this, and we've been talking about it
Yeah.
behind the scenes, but I feel like the more obligations we have as a man, whether it's family, business, career, whatever, the more ruthless we have to be with what we give our time and attention
100%.
to. It's super cliche, but everybody has the same amount of time. But some people are fucking multi-billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, and other people are homeless. And we all have the same amount of time. Now, obviously, we're all dealt different hands. We got different, circumstances, situations, etc. But at the end of the day, the one resource that is finite, that everybody is limited to, is the same amount of time. And ultimately, how we invest that time is going to determine what we can reap in terms of like
100%.
the rewards.
Yeah, having a kid has brought that like front and center, right? We've been chatting about this a lot. It's like I'm now having a kid that I am responsible for, and I want to be a very intentional, present father, which means if I'm saying yes to that, I have to say no to something else.
Yeah.
And so for me, hyper focus on efficiencies. If I can eliminate a commute, so I'm building a home gym, if I can eliminate 30 minutes of back and forth, I just bought 30 minutes back in my day by working out of the house instead of going to the gym. Being like ruthless to these every little 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, because they stack up over time to create that space to say yes to the prioritization of things, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
super focused on that.
Turning this into like a little bit of a value add for the audience, guys, I do think how we focus our time is the most important thing we do. And there's this guy I really love. His name's Naval Ravikant, and he's the first person that I've ever heard say this. And he said, like poor people ruthlessly spend their time to save money, and wealthy people ruthlessly spend their money to save time. And then he said, you should assign yourself an hourly rate. So if you make $50, $100, $1,000, $10,000 an hour, whatever it is, based on where you're at in your business career or in your job set. And if you let's just say for simple terms, you make $50 an hour. But if you're spending your time doing tasks that are $25 an hour tasks, you're losing $25 an hour. And you could hire someone to do that $25 an hour task, save that $25 an hour, and go work at your full rate of $50 an hour.
Yep.
And you actually are better off from the standpoint of productivity.
Yes.
It'd be a net zero instead of a net loss. And I think, it's interesting. Like I was talking to a friend recently, and she was telling me like, oh, like I'm gonna go do like the lawn, and I was like, well, why are you doing the lawn? First off, like you do very well. Why would you waste your time doing that? She's like, oh, I just love it, and I was like, okay, that's fine, but like you spent an entire day doing the yard. Like, don't you think you could spend that time doing, you know? And it's just so some people get attached to this idea of like, oh, I can do it myself. I'm a man, or I know what to do, or I take pride in this. And it's like, yeah, sometimes that's great, but also sometimes you're just wasting the resource that you have and that you could direct in other areas.
Yeah. And that equation works really well if you're directing it in other areas, right? If you're going to outsource and then pay someone to do something, but then sit on the couch and watch Netflix, well, then you're essentially paying them so you can sit and watch, which if you're resting and recovering, maybe that's valuable, but that works if you trade your time to then put towards actually executing on higher level things.
Yeah, we're getting long-winded on this topic, but after I read that book, it's called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, and he talks about this. I came home and I did two things. One, I decided like I'm not gonna cook anymore. Because as a single dude, like I go to the grocery store, I cook, I clean, I do the whole shit. It's like multiple hours a week, and it costs damn near the same amount of money to just go out every night and buy myself dinner as a single dude. So I literally stopped cooking and I eat out every night.
Oh, and you factor in the time, the money, the worth of your time.
Exactly. The worth of my, so the time to go to the grocery store, shop, the food that I buy, the stuff that I end up throwing out because I'm a single dude and I eat out once or twice because I'm going on you know, out with friends or whatever. Like just the whole thing, I ran the equation and I was like, it's going to cost me marginally more to eat out every night, but I save all of the time. And then I hired a cleaner to do all of my laundry, clean my house, do all my shit, and I stopped doing anything. So like on Sundays, I used to wake up, do all my laundry, wash my bedding, do my chores, you know, go grocery shopping, come home, meal prep, and I would spend
most of the day.
5 to 6 hours on Sundays. And then by the time, you know, it's like the afternoon, I'm like, okay, now I can rest before the week. Now I don't do any of that shit. And like, I can just spend my time on Sunday chilling and getting ready for the week because I have such an intense schedule throughout the week. Just that one change, I mean, you know, maybe cost me an extra like $300 to $500 a week.
Yep.
But just that alone, that the value of my time and the energy that I get back, it is priceless in a lot of ways. And sometimes we don't think about this thing just because A, someone's never told us about it, or B, we've never thought that it's possible. But if you run the equation, I think it could be very valuable.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm done with my tangent. What questions do we got today?
What do we got?
Guys, this is great. Like that's important stuff.
Yeah, because every man, our duty is to protect and provide for our family, to be there to support them, and we have to support them with our financial capacity, with our time, with our energy, you know, being there for kids, etc. So it's like this is probably the most important thing that we do as men, how we spend our time. And the way that we allocate our time, I like to say the time investments that we make determine the life that we live.
100%.
Boom. Keep it 100, bro.
I always keep it 150. All right. First question we have is from Bull. His name's Bull.
Bull.
Fucking
Strong
he's a
like
badass.
Bull. Fuck
Yep. His question is, it's a little bit of a DIY question. He's looking for some hacks with Live Bearded stuff, but he asked, is there any way to make a homemade spray from the oil or butter, maybe not as great as the ones you produce for the staple fragrances, but a reasonable substitute for nothing? So he essentially
make it like our utility spray.
yeah,
like
he wants to make like a utility spray out of some like maybe our oils or our butters or something.
The short answer is no, because it's we use raw essential fragrances in the utility spray, so it's a stronger potency than what you get in an oil, right?
You can't just like
So
take the oil, put it in water, and shake
dilute
it up.
It could be diluted. It wouldn't be strong enough. So the short answer is no. If you're looking to just get some sort of like body cologne out of your butter and oil, my recommendation would be just apply it, the oil or the butter, to your skin, right? It's really good to moisturize your skin. It's great for tattoos. You can apply it. It's going to give you that fragrance. Yeah, the butter is, and the oil.
Oh.
And so it's you can put it on your arms literally to have the effect of a body cologne without trying to extract it and make a spray and get all complicated.
Very good. So you don't need to make a spray. You could just
put it on.
Yeah,
apply
and
it.
oil doesn't really spritz very well.
The viscosity is a little too thick.
A little bit too thick. And I don't think you would want to spritz the oil all over the place. It might get a little slippery and slimy and oily.
But what if you're a bodybuilder? Yeah, you go to a
Extra
competition.
greasy.
Yeah.
Extra
And
greasy.
extra tan.
Oil it up.
You know, if you're a bodybuilder, you should probably just go straight for like baby oil or
The baby oil.
coconut
Yeah.
Yeah. Coconut oil is a good substitute. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to add to that other than I use the oil as like a lotion for my arms and my chest. I'm a hairy dude. I've got hairy legs, hairy arms. I feel like when I use lotion, it kind of like just gets kind of like matted or like, I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I just use the lotion or the oil.
Works great.
Granted, I have an unlimited supply of it, so I'm not too concerned. But it works really well for a
Give it a try,
body
bowl,
oil.
see what
Yeah.
you think. Use it as like a body cologne.
I like to use the oil just because it's thinner than the
Yeah.
butter, and so it's not as greasy.
Not quite as greasy.
Yeah.
I would start with the oil. I agree.
Yeah. Any other useful DIY hacks that
We one time
We
used
may not
beard
know
oil
them.
on a squeaky front door here at the office. The front door, and it works.
Oh
so
my
if you, So if you have a
gosh.
squeaky front door or back door, any door, just
Yeah.
put it on the hinges and
Yeah.
squeak's gone.
Oil and butter works good in the hair too.
Looks great in the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like since I have long hair, I get like some flyaways, but like sides of
Yeah.
the hair that breaks, and so sometimes I'll just put like a little butter in my hand and just like put the sides down. It works out
Oh.
great.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
You
My
guys
wife
got-
uses our mustache wax for her eyebrows. It's like a thing.
Really?
Legit. You put it in, combs it up, and like, because apparently big eyebrows, it's like a thing for women, right?
And
so
and
it's
the
like,
you have to like comb it up too,
you
so
put
it has
up
that
and
raked
the
look.
extra raked, big,
Yeah, yeah.
thick look.
What is up with
Little
the
mustache
eyebrow
wax.
thing?
Dude, it's
I
a
don't-
trend. It's just
Yeah.
a trend. It's
Well,
coming.
but wasn't it like once upon a time
Pencil,
they were
like,
Yeah,
thin?
they had like super thin ones. They were like plucking them out, and now it's like the bigger the better.
Just like everything, right? It's
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
in
yeah.
waves, and it'll be back
Yeah.
in style.
Yeah.
in another
now
20
everyone
years.
wants eyebrows like Eugene Levy,
Just,
Yeah.
just
the
big,
thicker, the
thick
bigger. Yeah.
caterpillars.
Not quite connected, but
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah,
Almost.
not connected. They still want to.
yeah.
I don't know if a unibrow will ever
Ever
come into fashion.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Never say never. Some weird shit out there is trendy.
There is.
So
What is Anthony Davis
Anthony
on the
Davis?
Lakers? I want to say he tried to patent and trademark his unibrow to keep anyone else in the NBA from having a
Yeah.
unibrow. And
he
I'm
like
like,
leaned
I
full
don't
in, and
think
people
you're
are telling
fighting.
him like when he made it right, and he got his big contract. People were telling him to just, like clean it up, and he's like, no, this is
No, this is me.
unibrow.
Yeah. Speaking of random things, I saw The Rock finally owns the rights to the name The Rock.
Oh really?
He never owned the rights to the name because it was
What?
like
It
a
was just-
WWE
Oh.
like trademark.
So now he
And I don't know
owns-
what happened, but now he's on the board of directors of the WWE, and like part of the negotiation of him like joining and like doing things
Mm-hmm.
was that he got to own the rights of The Rock. So now he's officially The Rock.
I mean,
Officially,
I
The
guess
Rock.
this whole time he like technically couldn't call himself The Rock without the WWE's
What a
permission.
phony this whole time.
I know.
that's
phony.
you know that kind of makes sense because
Come
I
on,
remember
Dwayne.
there was a time that he said he was Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and then all of a sudden that like kind of disappeared, and he was just Dwayne Johnson for a while. And I'm like, man, you spent so much time building that name, The Rock, and it's
didn't even
great.
own it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, now he owns it.
yeah.
All right.
I think
Good for
Hulk
him.
Hogan had a similar situation to that too. Like he couldn't own the name Hulk because Marvel used it
What's
or
his
something.
real name?
I don't know. What is Hulk Hogan's real name?
Yeah, no idea.
Dang it! Now I have to look it up.
I was trying to buy mink.com and someone owns it. I don't know. It's probably really, really expensive. But
Four letter word. Yeah.
One day I'm like, mink.com.
Mink.com.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I need to get it.
It's someone who has a mink farm and makes
I
mink
know,
coats.
I don't know why that reminded me. One time, there was this kid when I was growing up. His name was Sean Bunting. I probably shouldn't say his name on the podcast, but whatever. Sean, if you're out there, I love you, bro. But this dude was a fucking asshole to me. He used to make fun of me all the time. He was like one of the biggest bullies. I love you, bro, but fuck you. No. And one day he like was talking to a bunch of people in the back of the bus, because I was like, I had to ride like the bus to school. It was like a 45-minute drive or whatever. And he's like, yeah, guys, I'm going mink hunting this weekend. He said it really loud so I could hear him.
Yeah.
He was like, a few years older than me. And I was like, Dad, he said he was going to go mink hunting this weekend.
On mink hunting.
Yeah.
Fucking Sean.
Hulk Hogan's real name is not what I expected.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Wait, let's guess. Oh, you already know.
I mean, see you
yeah,
later.
he could see it. Well,
James.
No, James is a pretty strong
John.
male name. No,
Too strong.
Oh, yeah, too strong. Let's soften the
Ashley.
name up.
Get it
Too
closer.
soft, too soft, but closer, much closer. His name is Terry Gene Bollea. Bollea. Terry.
Terry.
Nope. His name's Hulk Hogan.
His Hulk
Yeah,
Hogan.
his name is Hulk Hogan. His name's Hulk Hogan. Everyone. Yeah, great. Let's go to the next question.
Let's do it.
Question number 2.
Yeah, question number 2 is from Chuck. Chuck asked, should I use conditioner every day so the brush doesn't damage the beard? Thanks. And then he signed off with his name there. Now, this brings up an interesting thing why I wanted to bring this question up. Should you not use your brush every day on your beard? Like, does that damage your beard?
No.
So you should.
I mean, would you not comb your hair every day?
I
I mean, you can put a hat on, so maybe don't
Yeah.
answer that. If you were trying to style your hair, would you not comb your hair every day? Same thing.
yeah.
You know, we do have our combs are anti-static and wood, so it's not gonna you don't want it to catch and rip out, but there's no harm in combing your beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a strange question
Kind of a strange
then, right?
question.
Okay,
of a
so
strange question.
I thought there might have been something unique hidden in there, but I was wrong.
Just don't overcomplicate it. Use products if you're going to go out. If you're going to be out in public, you want to look respectable, take care of yourself.
Yep.
And comb it up, wash it up.
Yeah,
oil
here
it
at
up.
Live Bearded, we don't want to overcomplicate things, but comb your beard before you walk out the door so it's not spraying out, right? Take 5 minutes to throw some product in and comb it out and make sure it looks presentable and smells good, it's clean.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward, but
Would you
yes,
recommend using conditioner every day, like using the beard conditioner?
Yeah, you definitely can. It's all natural. It's good for you. It's good to condition. A lot of guys will actually condition daily and wash like every 3 days because washing will kind of strip the oils out. Conditioner puts the conditioning back in. Ours is natural, so you can do it every day without damaging. But
Okay, that's good to know.
so that's maybe helpful. But
Yeah.
I would condition every day for sure. And it also depends like how long is your beard, how sweaty are you getting. Takes a little common sense there. I get super sweaty at the gym every day, so it's like I'm gonna wash my beard. Clean it,
Dude,
make
you
sure it
get
gets-
sweaty just standing
I'm
around.
sweating right now.
I
The
know.
lights are bright. No, I'm
We
just
do our Monday morning meeting, and I'm just like, Spence is already like kind of sweating.
I don't know
He's
what it
just-
is, but I've just always been a sweaty kid, and I don't know if it's just like a I don't think it's a hyperactive thyroid or anything. Nothing medically wrong,
What's
but
your-
like
have you ever just tested your body? I mean, obviously you test your body
BMIs.
temperature.
Yeah, body. Yeah,
Like,
my
'cause-
temp runs on the higher end, but
Yeah.
it's like high natural.
yeah. So
normal.
my body temperature, I don't sweat that much at all, and
Yeah.
my body temperature is like 97.
okay.
Point like 8. I think 98.8 is the normal
Yeah.
temperature.
98.6.
98.6. Yeah. So mine is in the 97s, and I don't know if that has any relation to it, but it's always been a little bit low.
I tested mine the other day because I was feeling a little under the weather and I wasn't feverish, and it was 98.4, so it was like right in the sweet spot. So I don't run super hot, so like
Yeah.
I'm like 99 plus, but I'm a sweaty dude.
You are. We got to bring 2 shirts for you whenever we
Sometimes.
film.
Like when we filmed Beard Man. Oh, quick story. We shot Beard Man. If you guys have seen the video, and we were.
And if you
it was-
haven't, you should definitely watch it.
It was August in Arizona, which, mind you, it's living hell here in August. It's a little bit humid and 120 degrees. And so we literally were shooting out on the streets, and I had to bring 3 changes of Beardman shirts to get into my truck, turn the AC on blast to swap out and try to dry out because I'd sweat through it in like 2 minutes. So you think filming some of these videos we're doing now are tough? Imagine having to cut every 2 minutes to do a wardrobe change because I'm sweating through my shirt.
Yeah.
The nice
terrible.
thing is you could just put the sweaty shirt on the hood, and
That's
it'll
what I
dry
did. I
in
put
5
it on
minutes.
and dry off.
It may have been more time effect. Do you think it would have been more efficient with your time talking about optimization
Yep.
to go to a colder place and like film it in Canada
Definitely.
in the summer?
Definitely.
Oh,
Hey,
good.
we're learning, That was
Learning.
2020. So we've learned a few things since then.
Yeah, we've gotten a little faster with our filming
faster
too.
with the filming.
We've cranked out a lot of videos in a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, we're getting better. Doing better.
That's it. Better every day.
That's right.
That's the goal.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the
Hopefully that
question.
answered your question.
Yeah,
Chuck,
yeah, we definitely answered his
All
question.
right.
You can comb your beard every day. You can use conditioner every day. The wash might strip
can
the
use
oils.
it every day, but
Yeah, so
Use the
summing it
conditioner
up.
if you do.
Yeah, I mean they just heard. I don't need to repeat it for them. What am I doing? All right, third question.
Ask myself that every day. What is JR doing?
What is Jared doing?
What am I doing? Tav asked me the same question too. What are you doing? Our last question is from Bo. Bo asked, if you're starting a product-based business, what are steps 1 and 2 to making it work? So you guys have a product-focused business that people can, e-commerce, they can even walk in to our place and buy it.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are steps 1 and 2 to making a business like that work?
I think step number 1 is identifying a problem that you want to solve, right? So a lot of people, I think, take the wrong approach, which is they just want to sell some shit because they want to make some money. And I think before you just pick a product to sell, you should really understand what problem you're trying to solve for the end consumer. At the end of the day, the only reason why someone buys a product is because they have a problem that they're trying to solve. For us, it's like they want a better looking beard. We don't often think of that as a problem per se, but someone needs a solution to something in their life. And so before you pick a product, I would try to figure out what are some problems that you can relate to, that you know how to solve, that you have an affinity towards or are interested in. You know, and when you see a variety of different examples of this in entrepreneurs, some people, they have a personal health issue or a struggle because of something not fitting them or whatever. And so they're trying to solve their own personal problem. And then by going through that process, they uncover that other people have the same problem, right? That's one way to do it. Or again, just looking in the marketplace. If you want to start a business and you don't have a particular affinity or interest in any specific thing, then I would start looking at, you know, what problems exist in the world, reading forums, researching, learning, etc. So step one before you start any product business is really identifying a product or that's going to fulfill a need that currently exists or a need that is existing that needs to be solved, and then you can find a product for that. So I'd say that's step one, is just really understanding where the gap in the market is.
Yeah, find the problem.
Yeah.
Find the thing that everyone is having a headache over, like rush hour traffic, right?
Yeah. Hovercrafts, baby.
Hovercraft, jetpack.
Yeah.
Someone make a jetpack. I will
Elon?
be the first one to. I don't know about Elon. Elon goes through a lot of prototypes.
Yeah. But no, that's it. First, number one, identify a problem that you want to solve that's going to add tangible value to someone's life. And then number two, once you have the problem, let's say I got this water bottle right here, right? I need to make a better water bottle for protein shakes. Okay, cool. Now I know that if there's a problem, I'm going to use this water bottle to solve the problem that my customers or potential customers have. The next thing I would do is figure out how you can differentiate yourself from the market. So in the marketplace, I believe everything is commoditized today, right? Beard products, apparel, shirts, accessories, everything, right? It's like you can get anything made very easily today. And
when you say commodity, explain commodity down to layman's terms. What does commodity mean?
You can get a variation of everything on Amazon, right? So like there is an endless amount of competitors for water bottles, sunglasses, apparel, accessories, like anything that you want to buy. I say it's commoditized because I mean there's 100 other options and you're trying to stand out in a very busy marketplace.
Gotcha.
It's a product that you can go and find multiple other options from other brands, every price point. It's not like you're the one off you invented and have trademarked to this one product that no one else could knock off, model, duplicate, copy.
Yeah, it's not like you have a patent to something.
Exactly. Yeah. Your product inherently isn't unique. And most people make the mistake of falling in love with their product and thinking like, oh, my product is better than everybody else's. It's like, no, it's not. And even if it is, no one fucking cares. What they care about is does it speak to them in a way that is relatable? So I'll give you an example with Live Bearded. So Spencer and I started Live Bearded. Spence was growing out his beard November 2015. I had marketing chops. I'd been running an online marketing business for 5 years. Spence was like, hey, bro, have you ever thought about selling beard products? I said, no. He said, it's pretty trendy right now. Like, we should look into it. I did some quick research, and we bought a product, tested it. It took off. We did pretty well in the beginning. So once we got some initial traction, we sat down and said, okay, if we're going to go all in on this idea of Live Bearded, how are we going to position ourselves in the marketplace that's different from anybody else so we can have our own unique stance, if you will, our own unique selling proposition, right?
Yeah.
And so at the time, there was really only two main competitors. There was Beard Brand and there was the Dollar Beard Club before they had to change their name because they got sued. And
R.I.P.
Beard Brand was like $25 for a bottle of oil, and Dollar Beard Club was $1 for a bottle of oil. And so we're like, okay, you got the high end and you got the low end. And we're like, how do we want to position our brand and what do we want our brand to represent? And so when I say figure out how you want to position your brand, that's what I mean. What stance do you want to take? What values do you want to build your brand around? What's the message or the mission? And for us, we said, okay, well, our customer base is going to be like us. It's going to be the everyman. It's going to be the hardworking, blue collar, white collar, badass in the gym. Like it's not going to be the super high end guy that wants like the expensive shit. And it's not the low end guy. It's the guy that wants the best possible product at the best possible price. That's who our market is. And then because Spencer and I had been friends for 10 years at this point, we said, well, the only reason why we want to work together is because we're homies. We've been friends for 10 years and we want to build a company where we're working with our best friends. So what if the message of Live Bearded was come hang out with your best friends. Like, come hang out with a brotherhood of men who are here to uplift, encourage, and support you every day, right? So Spencer identified that there was an opportunity in the beard market where there wasn't a lot of competition at the time, or the market was growing and evolving. And he said, I think there's an opportunity to enter this market and find or create a better product that currently exists. Right now, you got this expensive one or you got this cheap one, but there's not a lot of good options in the middle. What if we became that like really great option in the middle? So that was the idea of the brand. Okay, cool. The problem that we're going to solve is we're going to be the best possible product, the best possible price for beardsmen. And the position that we're going to take is we are going to build a brand that's based on community and brotherhood. And so that's what I mean by step number one, find a problem to solve, or how maybe a gap in the marketplace, fulfill that problem with a product. And then step number two is find a way to position yourself unique or different in the current marketplace or existence of competition so that you can try to stand out. Another great example of this is Black Rifle Coffee. I think maybe one of the best examples in the last 10 years, right? Coffee is the most commoditized fucking product on the planet to some degree, right? There's endless, probably tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of coffee brands in the United States, if not for sure globally, right? And so here's a company that came out and they said, we're going to be Black Rifle Coffee Company, and fuck you. If you don't like who we are, if you don't like guns, fucking America, guns blazing, fucking all the things, right?
Didn't hold back.
Did not hold back. And that was their position in the market. So they said, hey, coffee is a commodity, but everybody loves it. And we love coffee. We're going to create the best possible coffee we can at the best possible price. So they really weren't solving a unique problem that's any different than anybody else was. But they believed in their product. They loved the product. But what they did amazing was positioning. Here's who the fuck we are. We're Black Rifle. And I just remember one of the videos, and it was Matt Best, and he goes, some people say I cuss too much. I say, fuck you, right? And then it was just like this funny spoof video. And the point is, like, they knew exactly who they were, what they stood for, and what they stood against. And oftentimes, there's this idea in marketing, if you're for everybody, you're for nobody. The best thing you can do is have 50% of people hate you and 50% of people love you. And I know that's divisive, and you don't do it deliberately. You don't deliberately try to make people hate you, but what you do is say, this is who I am, this is who we are for, and this is who we are against, right? So one of the things that we really believe in is made in America. And so we make all of our grooming products in the USA. And we very happily and very intentionally tell people, because when we've surveyed our audience, and a lot of you guys listening, you know this, you've got our surveys before, what's one of the number one reasons why you buy Live Bearded? The number one reason is always quality. That's why we got 60,000 five-star reviews. The number two reason is always made in America. And we've got a lot of veterans, police, military, firefighters, and a lot of good old fucking patriots that support this country that we support. And it's because we've been very intentional with made in America, hire as many people here locally as we can, build jobs, build careers, do this thing. And so you got to find out what you believe in and what problem you want to solve, and weave those two together in a way that's unique and different to you. And then if you're going to start a business, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you this. It'll be the toughest fucking thing you've done. It'll challenge you. It's harder than you believe it's going to be. It'll take longer than you think it's going to take. And I was at a mastermind group recently. I got asked to speak at it, and a guy raised his hand and he asked me almost the exact same question. He said, what's the quickest way to start an e-commerce business today? How can I make money the fastest? Is it drop shipping? Is it this or is it that?
Feels like the wrong question.
And I said to you, I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to pick on you. Like, you seem like a sweetheart, but like, I'm just gonna be real with you right now. That's the wrong question. If you're trying to get rich quick, if you're trying to make something happen fast, I said all of my biggest mistakes came from short-term thinking. All of the money, the investments, the time, the energy, all my biggest losses came when I was trying to do something quick, easy, fast, or short. And business is a very, very difficult endeavor. There's a lot of competition. It's cutthroat. It's 24 hours, 365 in a lot of ways, especially if you're selling online. And I just believe it'll be one of the hardest things you do. And if you're going to commit to it, and one of my mentors, a guy by the name of Patrick Bet-David, Spencer and I are in a coaching program with him. We get to talk to him every month. He said, choosing to be an entrepreneur is choosing psychological torture. because there's always something that can go wrong. There's always external circumstances that we don't have any control over. We are supposed to have a big product launch. This is a little sneak peek behind the scenes. You heard it here first.
Spoiler alert.
We have been working for over 2 years to bring back our deodorant. We launched a deodorant formula. It was amazing. We got amazing feedback. There was some supply chain issues around the COVID stuff. Some stuff went out of stock. We couldn't get it back in stock. We had to change manufacturers. Fast forward 2 years, we haven't had the product, right? We finally get the product. We retool everything. We get a new manufacturer, a new formula. We're fucking like, we can't wait.
It's here.
It's fucking here. They say it'll be there end of January. I'm like, hey, Pete, what's the update on deodorant? When's it going to be here? Oh, let me find out. He gets back. He hears back from the manufacturer. Oh, sorry, we fucked up. It's going to be another 2 months, 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
So we're like, there's nothing we could do.
It's always something.
We built a whole marketing calendar around launching this. We're getting hyped up about it. It's a new product back. Our customers been asking for it for years.
Yeah.
So why do I give that example? Because shit always goes wrong. It'll be the hardest thing you have to do. But on the other side of the psychological torture, if you stick with it long enough and you solve enough problems and you endure enough brain damage, then ultimately you get to a point where you can build a business that's really beautiful. And that's what we've done. We've been playing this game for 8 years. It starts out as an idea. It starts out as a dream. You have to have a compelling vision, something that drives you forward. But you also have to understand it's going to be a very long and hard road. And I wish someone would have told me that when I was getting started, because I spent a lot of time thinking that I was doing it wrong because it was so hard and it was so slow. And then you hear these glamour stories of people getting rich overnight and, from 0 to 10 million or 100 million or whatever. And it's like, what am I doing wrong? And you get to where we're at today and you reflect back and you're like, wow, we weren't doing anything wrong. We were actually doing it right.
Just needed more time.
It just needed more time. And it's the perspective oftentimes that we take that's incorrect. So find a problem that you can solve, figure out how to position that product in a way that's unique and different to you with values that people that you believe in and that a marketplace believes in, and then just commit to the long-term, constant and never-ending improvement approach, because it's going to take a long time. But if you see it through, ultimately on the other side of the challenges and the risk comes opportunity.
Yeah. I think that's spot on. I was going to say the same thing in probably a few less words, but it's super spot on. And that applies to any business, not just physical products. The only thing I want to add to that, because the question was on products, we've made this mistake time and time again. Don't overcommit to falling in love with your product and investing a lot of time, resource, and capital into getting a lot of inventory in until the product's proven, right? So if this guy's thinking about starting a physical product business, when we started Live Bearded, we didn't commit to tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of inventory because we didn't have proof of concept. We started very, very small, MOQs as low as we can, minimum order quantities, get a handful, pay more per unit for them just to prove and test the market, test your positioning, tweak, iterate, right? Have your prototypes, improve on it until you really have established that it's effective in the marketplace and you have customers that love it. Then you can roll and scale. But one of the things we've fallen guilty, and a lot of business owners do, and entrepreneurs, is they fall in love with their product. They say, we're gonna go to the moon, this is gonna crush, people are gonna love this. And then they commit a bunch of cash into inventory and they can't sell it or move it. And then they have to pivot. They've got to figure out how to get rid of it. So I just want to say, if you're considering getting into physical products, do prototypes, pay a little more per unit. Don't overextend yourself to get a bunch of inventory expecting the sales to come, because it's going to be a grind and there's going to be iterations. You're going to want to improve it over time, and then you can scale. Yeah,
the very first PO we ever made was 500 units. And we said, let's see if we can sell them. And we sold them really quick. And then we said, okay, let's order 5,000. We sold the first 500 really easily. And I had a lot of marketing experience, so I knew what I was doing in the beginning. The other thing I'd add to that too is I love talking about business. I could talk about this all day, every day. I think business,
I feel like I'm getting a sermon right now. I want to hit the organ for you guys.
Business is the game of life. In the world we live in today, everything that we use is sold from someone to someone for something. There's nothing in the modern world that is not part of the commerce experience. So commerce is the game of life. Sometimes your customers will tell you what they want, and then they won't buy it. And so this is where this makes the whole product game even more difficult. And, just using us as an example, if you guys listen to this podcast and you ask us business questions, you're going to get behind the scenes things. We spent years, 3-4 years, developing a body care line of product that is fucking phenomenal.
World class. Best in the market.
And maybe we overdeveloped.
Overdeveloped.
We probably created formulas that were too good because the price point is high, because the ingredients and what we made is fantastic. And everybody, we surveyed our audience, are like, we want hair wash, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, deodorant, like we want all these things. So we ask our audience what they want, they tell us, and then we went and made it. And now, like body wash doesn't sell as well as we thought that it would. And to Spencer's point, we bought a lot more inventory in the beginning than we need. And with our sales velocity, it's like, typically we try to have 5 months, 6 months of inventory. Yeah, like now we have 3 or 4 years of inventory on some stuff.
So go buy some body wash, guys.
And it's like,
guys, if you want a great deal on body care, Live Bearded has got it.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the real bullshit behind the scenes. It's like sometimes you make, even other people will tell you what you want, and then you overcommit to things, and then you realize, oh, maybe they were just. It's easy to say I like it. It's another thing to take out your wallet and buy it, and so. It's a game. It's challenging. It's difficult.
That's part of going back to you saying it's be the hardest thing you've ever fucking done. We've made this mistake, heavy financial mistake, 7 years into the business. Yeah. So it's not like we made that mistake. We actually did it right on the front end. And then it's like you get caught up. There's momentum. There's energy over expectations of forecasts. And it's like that's part of the process. Things change. Markets change. And it's like that's part of the beauty of business is you get to learn from it. You get to problem solve and figure it out and keep moving and tackle the next problem that comes up.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got to say about that.
That's amen. Amen.
That's 3.
Yeah, that is 3. And that is a great time for us to get into our Do Better Dude of the Week.
Yeah, guys, if you're listening and you haven't heard before, we like to call out and feature a Do Better Dude of the Week, somebody out in the world just doing amazing things for his community. And we've got somebody I'm sure good. I actually got a sneak peek of the headline, and I'm a little confused, JR, at what we got going on.
Oh.
So I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, this is a very clickbaity title. I'm going to read it, and you will think one thing, or you're going to think of something, and then you're going to wonder, why is this a Do Better Dude segment? Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to explain it, and then it's going to get more confusing. You're going to have more questions, and then we're going to talk about the Do Better Dude at the end of this story and examine it and just be like, what kind of man is this? So here's the headline. I'll be sure to link it in the video description, so check it out there. But the headline is, woman divorces man after his traumatic brain injury, and now her husband helps her care for him. So what comes to mind with that headline, Mink? I kinda prime Spencer already with it. What comes to mind, though, for you guys with this?
So she leaves her husband, who has a brain injury.
Traumatic
brain injury. Remarries, and then now her new husband is helping her support her ex.
The first words that came to mind I probably shouldn't say out loud. Yeah, I'm going to censor myself on that one.
Yeah, it sounds...
It is a little...
Sounds weird.
Like,
sounds...
is this...
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
She left her husband with brain injury?
It's a
and
very...
now she's back helping, and her new husband's helping her help him? What the fuck?
So, let me...
All right, unpack it, JR.
Setting us up.
This
here.
is like...
I am. I'm pulling up the story now. Okay. So... Chris Armstrong and Brandon Smith met each other back in high school. They were 15 in high school, junior, it doesn't matter. They met when they were 15 and 16 years old. They were high school sweethearts. They get married. They're married for a couple years. Chris's husband, Brandon Smith, gets in a terrible car accident. Horrible. Okay. All right. He's left with permanent brain damage, and he's just unable to function. And Chris steps up as the wife and takes care of him. However, she realized that through that marriage that they had, she was unable to have a family with him. It wouldn't be something that was possible. So after about 5 years, Chris decides to get a divorce. However, she is still his primary caretaker because she loves Brandon so much that she didn't want to let him go. Because as far as she's concerned, she loves him forever. She's going to take care of him. So when she got divorced to open herself up to a new marriage and have a family like she always wanted, so Chris finds a new man. His name is James. Now, when Chris starts dating James, she explains her situation, and she says, if you date me, Brandon, my ex, is part of my life, and you must agree that he is with us because I will take care of him for the rest of my life. James hears that and agrees to it, and he's open, and he's actually very helpful with Brandon, and he's helpful with Chris. Chris and James get married. They have two kids, and James has a kid from a previous marriage, but James takes care of Brandon just like Chris does, and he's an integral part of the family. Kids call him Uncle Brandon, and he's part of their lives.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I see where okay. Sorry.
it's a very it's a weird start to a story that has a lot of twists and turns, but examining someone like James, who sees this really strange situation happening, falls in love with Chris, and he's still open to having her ex-husband be part of their lives together. I feel like it's a very benevolent thing, but I just kind of wanted to examine this and get your guys' thoughts on this. Like, this is a very unique situation.
It's a super tough situation. Okay, I'm processing.
Yeah,
Is-
it's a lot to process.
yeah.
Ups and downs. Chris and Brandon are married.
Yeah.
Brandon gets a horrible accident. Chris takes care of him for a
And
little
is
bit.
Brandon like coherent? Is he able to like how functioning is he? Is he?
Let me
able
show
to
you a picture.
communicate? How did the divorce happen? I
like,
got some questions.
Is he just like super sour about this whole situation?
Well, how does he feel about the situation? Did he sign off on the divorce and like supportive of that and appreciative of James coming in?
Brandon
he able to
is
communicate and share
unable to
his-
communicate.
Okay.
His brain injury is so traumatic that his communication is
Okay.
really poor. Here's a picture of him just so you guys can kind of grasp the concept.
So there's two sides to this. There's the one side of me that like wants to believe in the positive, where it's like, that's amazing. This guy puts his ego aside and know that my now girlfriend, now wife, has this past. We want to support him. I'm going to support him just the same. It's beautiful, right? Really beautiful. There's a part of me that's like, does Brandon know what the fuck's going on? Is he supportive of this and he can't communicate, or is he pissed off and
Is
he's
he
living
just
in
like this-
torture, sitting here going, my ex-wife divorced me and is now remarried and I have to see this every single day, and he can't communicate that he actually didn't support the divorce or any of that in the beginning.
There was a lot of time of going to the
Okay.
doctor where she realized, like,
I'm not saying that's what it is, but
No,
there's
it's
two
fine.
sides of
Yeah.
two sides of it.
there is points of the story where like she checked with doctors and like it is clear that he's unable to communicate. He's not there mentally. He's not Brandon like he
Okay.
used to be.
Okay, so he's not living in terms of like
He's not
witnessing being
trapped
part
in
of
his
this,
body with
like,
his own
with
mind.
his mind going, and he just can't communicate.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a valid concern though. I thought the same thing and I just started typing
I
up
just want
more.
to clarify, because if he's aware mentally, he just can't communicate, and he's sitting there in torture, then it's like that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Poor
It is.
Poor bastard has to now live with his ex-wife, and James coming into his world. Anyways, if that's not the case, then it's positive, it's beautiful. No, I think it's cool. I mean, look, it's interesting when you meet people and they've got past, they've got previous kids and whatever. It's like, do you accept them and who they are in their lives and show up and maybe it's different than the story that you told yourself on who you wanted to meet and what you expected that to be. But if you trade that expectation for appreciation for that relationship, and that love and connection is strong enough to come in and accept that, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And I think looking at it like that idea of like mixed families coming together,
Yeah.
like kids from different marriages coming together, it's kind of the same thing when you think about it. Brandon
definitely.
is a person from a previous marriage who is still part of her life, and James was open to that. He's like, yeah, I understand.
My advice to that is, in this situation, this is obviously a very unique situation, but in any situation would be to fully go into it, not holding any resentment back at all, because any fraction of resentment towards that situation will just increase over time and just create a wedge that's going to be like unforgivable or have some sort of explosion down the road. So if James is, which it sounds like, is like fully, I'm all in 100% on you, you're important enough for me to accept this and go into it willing to support that genuinely, then yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I agree.
Interesting story.
Super
right?
interesting.
I thought you were going Jerry Springer on us
I
for
know.
a
I
minute.
was like, where's
Right?
this
Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. Every week we like to get on here, talk, mock, but never walk away from the conversation. And if you have any questions, what do?
You email us at ask@livebearded.com or comment in the video below.
Yeah, we're here to just answer your guys' questions, talk about the experience of being a man in the world today, and have some fun along the way. So if you guys need anything, let us know. Until next time,
Live
bearded! Duh.